Hey, I'm Heyzeus, and in this video, we're going to be looking at the deleted skins of CSGO, sponsored by Skinport, the easy-to-use skins marketplace where you can sell your skins for real cash. More about them later, although please hit the referral link in the pinned comment, it helps my channel a lot. So, what do I mean by deleted skins? Well, I literally mean deleted skins. Over the last year and a half, examples of Valve going into people's inventories and outright deleting skins have become more and more common. And sometimes there seems to be a bit of a pattern behind what's happening, but sometimes there isn't. And I want to look at all the publicly known cases and see if we can explain what's going on. So, the first example that really got public attention was to do with a skins marketplace called Bitskins. Now, during late 2019, the site fell under new ownership, and this was generally met with a bit of distrust. People didn't know who the new owners were, and they weren't sure whether the management could be trusted, which was unfortunate, because shortly after the new owners took over, reports started emerging of skins disappearing from their website. Not many items, just a skin here and a skin there, but they were still disappearing. And Bitskins customer support didn't do a great job of explaining what was happening to the people affected. Explanations ranged from "we don't know" to "Valve did it." It was often contradictory, and the result was public outrage. But Bitskins weren't lying about this. They were maybe a little bit inept when it came to refunding people in a timely manner, although eventually they did do that, but the reason their explanations were so vague and confusing was that they were just as confused as everyone else. When items are stolen, generally speaking, they eventually turn up in someone else's inventory, but the items that vanished off Bitskins, despite extensive investigation, never did. As far as anyone could tell, Valve had actually deleted them. And it didn't take long for another case of this to emerge, and this time, it would involve a bunny hop YouTuber called Bean. Now, he'd noticed that CSGO Empire was giving away a whole bunch of trade ban gambling bots with insane inventories. You could still play on these accounts, you just couldn't trade or sell the skins. So he managed to get an account from them. He got the retweets and he ended up with this lovely inventory, $23,000 worth of skins. The problem is though, 5 days later, Valve was like, no, and proceeded to delete every skin in the bot's inventory, and even slapped a community ban on Bean's main for good measure. Now, Bean got this ban overturned, but he was given a stern warning not to try any funny business in the future. I mean, it's a good thing he's not cheating or anything. Anyway, a few months later there was another case of this happening. So, you might remember this $500,000 inventory I featured in a video once, jam-packed with Dragon Lords, Howls, and Medusas. Now, this was the inventory of a gambling site owner, and it was caught in one of Valve's waves of bot bans, so it was trade banned. But in June this year, Valve decided its punishment had to be more severe, and they deleted every single skin in the account. Now, unfortunately, the owner has privated the thing, so we can't marvel at its emptiness anymore, but regardless, those skins are gone. But the most recent case, and definitely the weirdest one I've seen so far, involves a trader called Tiger, and I want to focus on him for a bit because what's happened to him is kind of nuts. So, when I said he's a trader, well, that's actually past tense now. He was a trader, but on the 22nd of July this year, Valve decided to trade ban his account. And this trade ban was really odd, because normally Valve give you a reason for your ban. So when Chili, a well-known trader, was incorrectly banned by Valve about a month ago, they explicitly told him it was for account hijacking. Now, he was innocent and the ban was eventually overturned, but the reason for the ban, at least, was pretty clear. But Tiger didn't get an explanation. Instead, he got a message that simply stated that he'd violated Steam Terms of Service. No further feedback was given. Now, unsurprisingly, Tiger wasn't too happy about this, particularly because he had about $35,000 worth of Cato 2015 investments in his inventory. I mean, look at all this stuff. Like, in particular, these Fox Hollows, they're amazing stickers and really expensive nowadays. So, he sent about 100 tickets to Steam support, and about 100 times, Steam support told him to get stuffed. But they did add this. Apparently, his account had been identified as being used for commercial purposes. Now, you could definitely argue that being a trader is using a Steam account for a commercial purpose, but it clearly isn't under Valve's terms of service, and I can tell you why. Because Valve explicitly made skins for trading, and it's not even a theory, it's on public record. One of the employees who made skins gave an hour-long lecture about how they designed skins specifically so they'd be fun to trade. So I'm pretty confident Tiger has been wrongly banned. If he was accused of scamming or something like that, I'd believe Valve, but in this case, I think he's been falsely convicted. The reason he was banned makes no sense. But wait, the plot thickens, because on October 29, Valve decided to step things up a notch. Specifically, they deleted the most valuable items in his inventory, and this shotgun for some reason. So poor old Tiger has been doubly wrecked at this point. His appeals have been rejected and now his stickers have been deleted as well. Now, this is probably the weirdest ban I think I've ever seen during my time on the platform, but I can sort of figure out at least some of what's going on. Firstly, the type of ban he's got is very distinctive. You might notice there is no trade ban mentioned on his account. It should look like this, but it doesn't. But I know he is trade banned because if I try and use his trade link, I get this message. And this is important because it tells me he has a shadow trade ban. And you know what shadow trade bans are used for? Gambling bots, like Bean's account, like Lucasello's account. But Tiger's account clearly isn't a gambling bot, so why has it received a gambling bot ban? Well, there's no definite answer, but there are a few things that do stand out to me. First of all, the Steam support message Tiger got implies that his account was identified by an automated system, and if we look at his account, I can see a few things that might trigger such a system. Tiger's account has a low level, it doesn't have many games, it doesn't have many friends, he's shown me that he uses buffs so his API is being used, and he also mentioned he's traded knives, D-laws and hows in the past. And these are all things that his account shares in common with gambling bots. It's definitely not conclusive, but I can see why, with a bit of bad luck, he could potentially have been falsely flagged. But still, I mean, it's pretty clear to a human that he's not a gambling bot. Gambling bots don't invest in Katowice 2015 stickers, so why has Steam support stonewalled him? Well, that's actually the one part that makes complete sense to me, because when Valve would have first started mass banning gambling bots back in 2016, they would have been flooded with requests for the bots to be unbanned. The gambling bot owners probably would have tried to spam Steam support so much that eventually somebody ends up accidentally unbanning some of their bots, and hundreds of thousands of dollars would have been at stake over it. So I guarantee you, Steam support would have been set up to auto-reject appeals for these types of bans, and that would explain why Tiger is getting these blunt rejections. But even then, why delete his stickers? Well, at this point, I can only speculate, but if he sent 100 tickets to Steam support, well, maybe they've gotten a bit pissed off and deleted some of his items to try and get him to stop. It's still just a guess, but it's the best reason I can think of. Either way though, I think Tiger, unfortunately, is kinda screwed here. It seems like he's gotten the one type of ban that's virtually impossible to get removed, and the fact that Valve have deleted his stickers seems to really hammer home that point. The silver lining though is that this type of forced ban seems to be extraordinarily rare. I've never heard of it happening to another trader before, and I think it probably is fairly easy to take precautions to avoid it. However, looking at the bigger picture, there is a clear pattern here. The accounts that have had their inventories deleted, rightly or wrongly, all have gambling bot bans, and it seems like these are very targeted actions by Steam support. Bean had been given the inventory to play on, Tiger was desperately trying to get his investments unbanned, and while we don't know what was going on with Lucasello's account, it's entirely possible he could have been attempting to sell it. Basically, it seems like the reason Steam support will delete skins is to prevent people from getting any kind of benefit from banned gambling bots, and although it might seem random and petty, there might be a bigger reason for it too. It's actually pretty common for cheaters to buy a banned gambling bot and play on it for a bit before it gets vaxxed. You can see a lot of these accounts on the vac porn subreddit, so the fact that Valve is out here deleting skins might be to try and stop stuff like that. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if they've deleted a lot of other gambling bot inventories that we simply don't know about to try and stop this sort of stuff. It's actually a fairly big problem, and force bans aside, I think Valve is doing the right thing here if they're trying to stamp it out. Either way, expect more deleted inventories to follow. However, none of this explains what happened with Bitskins. It just doesn't seem to be related, and honestly, it's still a mystery. I managed to get a comment from Bitskins through a third party who explained that Valve never gave them an answer, but they also added that no items had disappeared since May. Now, it also seems like some other sites may have been affected as well, which does suggest that it was a Steam issue, maybe a glitch in their code or someone at Steam support doing odd things, but ultimately it's hard to know, and I don't expect Steam will ever give us answers. Either way though, I just hope the problem doesn't come back, because while I'm happy to see the inventories of gambling bots being nuked, having random items disappear without any explanation just kinda sucks for everyone. Anyway, that is pretty much it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment, subscribe, massively appreciated. And a big thank you to Skinport for sponsoring this channel. Skinport, formerly known as SkinBay, it's the same site. All that's changed is the name, is a skins marketplace and cash out site. It's safe, convenient, easy to use. It's got a super competitive sales fee of 5% if you put skinport.com in your username, a really, really low fee if you're looking to sell your skins. If you're looking to buy instead, it's got a ton of great deals with over 100,000 CSGO skins listed, as well as easy to use deposit and withdrawal options. Awesome site, check it out, link is in the description. Anyway, that's it from me. As always, trust the numbers, not your guts. I'm Heyzeus, thanks for watching, see ya.